So it's probably about time that I actually start recording another video if I want to keep up with this. I'm 2 weeks behind now, which is good. It's good vibes. It's great vibes. I think I'm going to turn the main videos into flower farming based stuff. So I'm essentially just going to take you along with me on the road. It's going to be a bit weird to like set that up because the process of harvesting itself is just so time intensive. And then also like having to set up a camera while on the go feels like a little bit of effort. My microphone setup is very difficult to bring along with me. I'm going to invest in a little lavalier microphone, one that just clips onto my clothes. I'm going to do little harvesting talks, just kind of express any ideas or thoughts that are coming through while I'm harvesting. Just having like an all-round good time, chill vibes. I've started streaming my game of weeks. I still need to do the video from like 3 weeks ago and then upload the game to itch and then get that out. But I am now working on game of week 6. I stream usually Fridays to Tuesdays or Mondays. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Come along if you just want to hang out and have a chill vibe. You get to have some input on the games. I've got 3 followers already, so I'm feeling pretty good. Having more success on Twitch than I am on YouTube so far. Heck yeah, so I'll give you like a little tour of what a day is like on the flower farm. I've got a delivery tomorrow, so need to finish up all of the work that I've basically done over this week. This is going to be the setup for the bundling. I'm going to go out and just go with like my IKEA bag, the good old trusty IKEA bag, and do like a little bit more harvesting there. I've been like spending a lot of time this week just like clearing up the dried flowers at the back here. They look pretty cool. It helps clean up the space a bit, really in the way. Quite moldy, so it's like really not good to breathe in or anything. Got maybe 2 hours to get everything done, which is pretty groovy. I've already got a lot harvested and I'll just get lots of B-roll and see what we've got. So this is probably my least favorite bit of all of the work that I have to do. It is just very tedious and very personally unfulfilling. It needs to happen. It's a good way to count everything, make sure that I'm selling exactly what I've got. I'm probably going to repeat myself a little bit with a lot of what I'm saying over the course of these videos, just because, you know, new audience members makes it more accessible to people. So I've been running this farm for a year and a half now. As I've said in the previous videos, I didn't have a car for a while because I hit a wallaby and they just couldn't find a replacement part for it, which sucks. Usually I'll do about like 1 delivery into Hobart every week. It'll take me about maybe, I don't know, 12 hours to prepare just the harvesting itself. And usually those deliveries will be about like $400. So it's not like a super big amount of money, and I could probably be reaching maybe like $800 a week if I wasn't doing this by myself and if there was less other work that I needed to do as well. A big thing with this farm was that when I overtook it, it was just like way too much work for me to do. So that means that I've just been playing catch up basically ever since. And the way that I've treated this whole like flower farming project is that I was focusing on like the financial aspect and, you know, being able to live off of it. And because it hasn't been as financially sustainable as I hoped it would be, I'm only making about $25,000 a year, which is a livable wage, but it's not what I was expecting. You know, I could have gone and got a game design job and been making $70K a year just doing that. And that hasn't really moved anywhere. So obviously something needs to change. But the headspace that I put myself in is that there's so much work to do and there's not enough time to like stay on top of it all. And as a result, I've just become very burnt out very quickly because I don't see a lot of the work that I do is kind of unpaid. A lot of the maintenance work and a lot of the preparation work for the future is something that I can't really profit from directly. It definitely has an impact and is an investment in the business in the future, but it's very much just like effort. There's no guarantee that I'll see a return on any of the work that I actually do. And it becomes really difficult because all of the plants that we grow here take about 5 years in order for them to start flowering at a commercial rate. And what that means is I have to make a commitment to be here for 5 years if I want to be putting that in. And I'm not sure if this is something that I want to do for like, you know, the rest of my life. It was a cool opportunity and it was a really cool experience that I like took on board. But I think the way that things have been going, I don't know if I can see anything continuing unless I make some changes. And the first one of those big changes that I want to try is getting someone in once a week to help me. That basically means that 50% of the profit that day will have instantly dissipated. Not to mention that I'm already not meeting any of the overheads for the business itself yet at all, although the house mortgage is being included in that. So that's about like a $40,000 benchmark that I need to hit. So obviously running at a 15K deficit. It's not the end of the world, and like I don't know if that mortgage is like a fair consideration, because it would still be an expense regardless of whether the business was being run or not. Let's just talk about the general things that need to happen with maintenance. Part of the whole process of having a flowering plant is you plant it grows, you prune it, and then you harvest things off of it. And you have to make sure that you weed around it, general maintenance of the land around the area, like maintaining accessibility to plants. The goal is for commercial flower farming is for all of our plants to have as long of a stem length as possible. These are called leucadendrons, and we sell these based on length entirely. With flowers, we just have a set rate, but obviously we want to make sure that we're still getting decent stem lengths so that they're saleable, and you're not just getting stems that are like this short and no one can use because the stems are just too awful. So we have to prune our plants according to that. I say we, it's mostly just me, although, I've had a lot of help here over the course of my time here. I'm just going to keep on saying we because I don't want to discredit any of the work that other people have done. I think that's really important. I'd say that every plant probably needs about maybe like 10 hours of maintenance in terms of just pruning every year. Heck, I need to figure out what I'm going to do next. So an ideal day for me would look like me just making myself a coffee in the morning and get out on the farm, do a bit of harvesting, and then come back and actually have something proper to eat, and then get on with game design and whatever else that I'm trying to get done. But obviously now that things are a bit different with having this channel and streaming my devlogs on Twitch, my priorities have kind of shifted around a little bit. So I think the ideal day for me would look like still me getting up and having coffee, going out in the field, doing a bit of harvest, and then leaving the bundling until the day before I do a delivery, or the day that I guess this main channel video is going to be due, and then having a sit down and doing a recording and just going through like a little chat with you guys. And then in the afternoon of a regular day, I would be doing game design and streaming on Twitch. I still have my hospitality job as well. That's something that usually happens at about 5:30 to 9 o'clock. So realistically, I finish at 4 or 4:30, get ready to go, leave the house at 5, and then come back by around 9 o'clock and have some dinner and start that all over again. I don't live the flower farmer lifestyle. I live that YouTuber time schedule with sleeping. So that means that I usually get up quite late in the day, especially since recently I've been streaming Twitch until like 4 a.m. Look, I'm just figuring everything out, okay? I'm really enjoying the process of this, but heck, I need to like pick up some better habits and get things to work a bit more smoothly, because what I'm doing at the moment isn't sustainable. I always looked at YouTube as being the sort of thing that I would create curated content for. But now that I've started streaming a bit more on Twitch, it might be fun to do some more highlighty things. I just think that it makes a little bit less effort for me. And, it might create a bit more engaging content. I think a bit more interaction means that I have more directed conversations, and I can also just talk about things people actually want to hear, and I know what's like interesting and unique. When I started this, obviously, everything that I didn't know seemed interesting, but I think those lines have kind of blurred a little bit between what's even worth saying. So having, like a bit of a viewer interaction would be cool, but in order to do that, I'd need to have a streaming setup here so that I could stream while also doing like bundling and things, or like have it on the go. That seems a bit intense. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think this works for now. It's quite late already at night. It's like 7 o'clock almost. So it's bad. It means that after this, I have to go in and editing. And the way that I usually like to structure my week is that, I have some downtime post harvest. I'm sure that this is going to like bounce around in terms of time stuff. So sorry if it looks a bit weird with just having bundles being made and then unmade the whole time. I need to jump on a call right now, so I probably won't be able to record much. I'll just quickly run through everything. This is a Banksia primorsa. It is an Australian native. Sell these usually by the stem, just because they're a little bit more sparse. Another leucadendron, it's called tinctum. There's another leucadendron, which is mostly just like prunings, just because these bushes haven't been taken care of very well, but this one's called Maui Sunset. This is a type of leucadendron that's actually quite leafy. I'm not too sure what its proper name is. We sell this as foliage just because it's so leafy. just call it Firebrush. That's the name a florist gave it, and it's pretty apt. These are proteas. They're basically our bread and butter. Sell these in bunches of 5. I mean, I try and keep the like stems with the like stems in terms of length, but we don't sell them based on length or anything. In the cool room at the moment, I've got the Reapens protea, which is like a glossier variant of this. That's kind of our major product. I do try and get some smaller stuff if I've got the time to, because, you know, it's nice to have a bit of variation in terms of our deliveries. Usually we just deliver mixed variety sort of stuff, just whatever's in season. I'll follow up in the editing room and tell you whatever needs to be told in order for this to feel capped off.